Slicker, what's up, bro?
What's up, man?
North Louisiana.
I wouldn't say I brought it here, but I definitely improved the situation we were in.
Yeah,
definitely.
for local comedy.
For local comedy, yeah. We were in,
Yeah,
definitely.
for local comedy.
For local comedy, yeah, man. I guess like a year ago or something like that, I got sober, which I'm not sober anymore. You know, I'm being a degenerate again. But I went through some drinking issues and stuff like that. I got sober, needed something to keep my headspace clear. So I was like, I like comedy. Let's write dick jokes and shit jokes, and let's see how this works. And went over to a club downtown. I won't bash them too hard. I won't say their name, but I will bash them. And every weekend, or every time we'd be up there, show would start at 8. The owner would get there at 7:45 to unlock the doors and then turn the air conditioning on. Bartender would get there at 9.
Yeah.
So any aspect of a show that was there wasn't a complete show. So basically what I did was me and my buddy, we linked up and we were like, let's go to Tiki Bar. I'm tired of being at this club right now. And we just sat there and noticed it was Friday night and there were 3 people there, which that doesn't seem like a successful business plan for any type of bar on a Friday. So we just hit them up and we were like, hey, could we try comedy here?
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've ever been to Tiki Bar recently.
Yeah, not recently. It's been a while.
So the bartender there, Blair, she's amazing. She's great. She'll treat you like shit, but she's the sweetest person in the whole world. And we were just like, we'd love to try comedy. And she was like, I got to talk to the owner. That sounds good. Of course, our pitch wasn't, we want to do comedy. It was more of something. But and then 3 weeks from then, we did our first show, and we had like 120 people in that place. And immediately the owner was like, yeah, let's do this every single week if possible. So.
Yeah. Well, So it's interesting in this area, and I'm sure it's like this in other areas who, like, at one time, this was like the mecca for entertainment.
Yes.
You know, and it's been, 50 years.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just slowly declined until where you have, it's funny because now local is resurfacing, local entertainment, where people are appreciating it more. But for the longest time, this was a destination for big
people
acts.
to come. For people to come and show off. Yeah.
Local stuff was underappreciated. And so it's easy to fathom that someone opening a bar just to let some people in, not knowing if somebody's going to come in. I get that mindset, but at the same time, it sucks,
Yeah. And
it's something we've been missing. I've talked about this on the show before. I think I talked about it. I actually talked about it here recently with Colby and Jose. Yeah. It's something we've been missing, and it is interesting, and it's awesome that you guys are doing it because, man, comedy is just something that's so underutilized.
So much.
And so many people just attach them what they think comedy is to, like, the huge Kevin Hart's and the, Mike Epps and the big blockbuster guys.
Everybody's all on Matt Rife, just looking handsome as hell.
They all had deals with people know them from Comedy. They had Comedy Central deals. And and then it goes to Netflix specials. But, like, all those guys started in the rut. You know what I'm saying?
Doing stuff. They used to go do the Funny Bone and stuff like that. Like, it's really weird. Obviously, you deal with the music industry and stuff. It's hard to get people to come out and support. It really took us right at that 10 to 12 month time frame for people to be like, oh, this is something, and it's free every single time. And the good thing about Tiki is it doesn't cost a lot to get drunk there. It doesn't. Like, you can come with $30 and you're gonna have a good damn night. Free entertainment
for now until y'all drive the market up.
I'm hoping, man. I'm hoping we keep it cheap. I got to drink too. So.
Well, So how does the comedy scene work now? Like, so I know for the longest time, especially people were starting out, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
You might get paid $20 a set, or you get a bar tab or something.
So I like to think I pay fair. We do have a budget. So Tiki Bar for showcases. So we do open mics every single Friday, but on that 6th Friday we do a showcase.
Gotcha.
So with the showcases, if you have a 5-minute spot, you're guaranteed this. 10-minute, it doubles. 20 minutes, it triples.
Gotcha.
And then if you're the headliner, you get paid a fair amount. You get, like, I don't want to say
we
numbers, but percentages. Yeah. Some crazy percent, man. I pay so good. But no, and most of the guys, like I was telling you earlier, we got some of these guys that are used to playing shows for like $400, but they understand, like, hey, we got a small budget, but look at this crowd that wasn't at your last show at the other place. So this is our budget. If you can't do it, I'm not going to be mad at you. I get it. I know you're worth more. But if you want to get in front of some new people that will come to those paying shows, this might be the place to start. And I hate to sound like one of those guys like, you're working for what's it called? Not clout. What's the other word?
Status.
No. Damn, what's that word?
we'll circle back.
We'll circle back to that word.
You'll remember in a minute.
Yeah.
But no. Well, so are you actually doing stand up too? Or are you just kind of organizing?
Yeah. So most of the shows I host.
Okay.
And the reason
I've seen a show that you hosted at 7th Tap.
So when I host, I go up with anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes, and the reason it's that 3 to 5, because if I get a great laugh at 3, because all I'm doing as a host is setting up the next guy for not a cold open.
Right.
So if it takes me 5 minutes to get the crowd warmed up and ready to roll, that's what it takes. But if it only takes me 2 jokes, that's all I'm going to do. Like, cool, let's get your next guy up here, because it prevents that guy from having to work so hard. Because a lot of times I do like giving some of these. I mean, I'm new to comedy too, but I like giving the younger guys that are not so like they're insecure about their jokes, or they're not real comfortable on stage, something like that. But it gives them a chance to be like, oh, I don't have to work as hard.
Yeah.
So for some of the guys, like we have a few guys that are like 10 to 15 years in, and they can go up after a first timer and bring the room completely back alive. And I don't have to do anything in between them. Like if I see one guy, it's like, oh, it's his first time and he did terrible.
Yeah.
But the next guy, he's a 15-year vet. I can be like, all right, cool. Hey, y'all ready to get this thing back rolling kind of thing? Y'all give it up for, and I'll just shout him out right now, Glenn Stewart. He's one of our best guys that we have.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
He's so good, man. And recently Glenn came out of the closet, which I'm sure he's okay with me saying. He says it on stage. And it's so funny seeing him now, because the first like 6-7 months I knew him, we all knew he was gay, but he was hiding it. And so you can tell the last 10 years of him writing gay jokes in a secret gay notebook, he is now finally able to release. So it's just 10 years of him like, this is going to be so funny if I ever tell my parents I'm gay kind of thing. So it's cool seeing him out there working hard and telling all these gay loving jokes.
Yeah. I think I love comedy because it's pretty much the only outlet where you're not kind of like chastised for what you say. You know what I mean? You're going, yes, there's people that, you know, but going to a comedy show, you have to go and know that, you know.
So that's one thing at Tiki Bar. So Tiki Bar is a very old crowd.
Yeah. Okay.
But we've gotten to a point where now we're being able to get that 21 to 40 range rather than the 50 to 80 range there, because most people that were coming there before, they're playing slots and stuff like that, or they just go have a couple scotches and go home.
Yeah.
And so it's always funny seeing us say some crazy shit on stage, and you'll see the people turn around like, what the fuck is this? And it's like, you know, and like they didn't come here for comedy, so they're upset. They're like, this is my bar. And it's like, I kind of took it over. This is my bar now. You can have it any other day of the week.
Yeah, well, so I mean, what's the kind of separation there? Are you still doing? Are you still like getting on the mic and doing stand up outside of these shows that you're managing and putting together?
I mean, so we did have the other club that was doing Thursday open mics.
Yeah,
they stopped doing it because of disagreements with the owner. So a lot of times with my shows on open mics, I'll host a lot. But sometimes I'll just be like, hey, guys, you get paid this much and you get a bar tab. If you host, I don't feel like doing it. I need some stage time, though.
So you'll get in there and do a set every now and then?
Yeah. Usually half the time I'm having someone else host.
Gotcha.
And like sometimes I'll be like, damn, I kind of miss hosting. Like, I'm back on. Like, I'm good next week. So, like, last week we had a show. It was for people who were 2 years or fewer in comedy.
Okay. And
there was a cash prize voted by the audience, which basically all that is bring your friends. We need more people.
Yeah.
You know, and so I went up on that because I've only been doing it a year, and we let one of our tenured guys do the hosting. So things like that, like we'll let him do that. And like we got a guy named Clyde Williams. He's the one who hosted it last week. He's full of ideas for comedy shows, but he has nowhere to do them.
Gotcha.
So that's the thing. Like we're constantly looking for new places. That's why I was excited when, what was his name? Brian? Or was that Bo? Downstairs.
Brian's down there, but yeah.
Brian. Yeah, when he said something, I was like,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
We talked about it, and we'll talk about it more off air because we don't know yet. But I think it's something to be awesome down here. And y'all are about to do something down here.
Yeah. This Saturday, August 12th, we're going to be at the Bossier Art Council, which, I don't know, I thought it was the East Bank Little Theater. I don't know why I called it that, but that's what I've been calling it for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But
I'm sure they don't mind.
Nah, as long as people are coming. Or we paid our money, so they're good.
That's a nice little venue, though. That's a good intimate spot. How many seats they have in there?
120.
Yeah, so that's perfect.
Yeah, so like, because we've done shows over at Tiki Bar, and you know we've done a few shows at 7th Tap, and it's like the first one at 7th Tap we did like 125. but it was raining, so we had to cut it off. Like, more people wanted to come, but they were like, oh, it's sold out, never mind, kind of thing. And our 1 year anniversary over at Tiki Bar, they roasted me for the 1 year anniversary.
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah, and those videos will be up on YouTube soon.
Nice.
Joel's chopping them up right now.
Nice.
So I think we had like 130, 135, somewhere crazy like that. So in that little place, I mean, it was packed. We had to bring in chairs. Like, we planned on having all 10 comics on stage at once, and then it slowly dwindled down to 3 comics at a time because we needed people that were in the crowd to have chairs. So,
Yeah.
So yeah, those shows are super fun.
Well, I think it's funny too how there's so many different styles of comedy now. You know, I think used to there was just like you were watching stand up. It's like you're saying motherfucker or talking about dicks every other 5 minutes, or you have a clean version. But there's so many units in between now.
Yeah,
you know, like you have these people that. You have the roast comics, which people get nervous about, especially if they're on the first 2 or 3 rows.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like they know they're going to get fucked with when they show up. You know,
it's so funny. So a lot of our shows, like some that we've had at the station stuff, we'll always set up chairs up front, and even at Tiki, and people like go sit on the second row, and I'm like, hey, like if you don't talk, we're not going to shit talk you.
Yeah.
But if once you start talking, that's like I don't care where you're at. If you're talking, we're going to call you out. Like so, people are so nervous that like freaking Mike Epps is about to walk in and just shit on them, you know? Like, they don't know what the deal is. One of my favorite things to do is when I'm on stage, like, starting the show off or whatever, we'll have, like, a black comic second. And, like, why aren't y'all sitting up front? They're like, I don't know when to fuck with me. And it's like, don't worry, we'll wait till the diversity part of the show for that. Yeah. And so it'll kind of get people chuckling. They'll get up and move kind of thing. So. Yeah.
It's something that I appreciate it, man. I really appreciate it for a long time. I've been watching comedy for as long as I can remember, man. Since I was too young to watch it and was watching shit late night on Comedy Central I shouldn't be watching. You know, like, and I've always loved it. You know, I'm excited about what you guys are doing. I'm excited for the growth of it, like the whole space, because it's this day and age. You have the ability to do, like, you can do those things, you know, and achieve more reach, you know, use different platforms and kind of leverage your attention to grow the actual, you know, the space. Yeah.
And it's so crazy because, like, when I first started doing the open mics, like me, I am by far not one of the funniest comics in town. And I'm cool with that. And I've told them many a times, like, hey, I want y'all to know I do the marketing and the promoting for stuff like this, but they're not coming to see me. Some of my friends might come to see me, but they're here because y'all are good comics. They're not coming for me. And it's just been so damn hard getting people out to shows. Like, it went for a while. We were doing open mics. Like, the first one we had like 120 people. Then it dwindled down to 50, and then it got down to like 10. And now we finally figured out the formula. The word's gotten out enough that we, on an open mic, which is just people trying. Like, most of the time, I'm going up there with like, what's that one? Oh, okay, cool. Let me try this one kind of thing. It's just us trying new shit.
This open mics are like, people, like, when you think, it's just kind of like open mic night with like music or whatever. Yeah. So like these people who've never even tried comedy are coming up too. Like, how often are you having that in this area?
We've actually, within the last 6 months, we've had probably 20 people try comedy, and about 3 of them stick around, which is cool because that's very good numbers as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. Like, dude, cool. We need new talent. Like, we got a guy named Chuck that he was bringing his family out every single time we had a show. And eventually he signed up, and I was like, you're going up? And he's like, yeah, I'm nervous. I was like, don't worry about it. It's okay to suck, especially your first time. Yeah. And I was like, if you don't like it, okay, you never have to do it again. And he went up and he crushed. I don't know if it's because his family was there, but whatever. But he did really good. And now he's on our next showcase over at Tiki.
Yeah, man, I think it's awesome. I think that once people sit down and watch it, and they're like, some people are like, oh, I think I can do that. Yeah. And they get up there and they fucking.
It's so nerve-wracking.
Yeah, they either kill or they, you know, it's a squat, you know, it's a wash. They don't do anything, you know. But like, I do think, I don't know what the apprehension is. I just think that with this industry and what it has, it's like, it's so open-minded, and there's so much in affinity of free speech that I think it scares some people. You know what I mean? They don't want to hear real shit, or they also don't want to hear things that may offend them, but at the same time they agree with. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's always funny to me seeing the people that get upset. Like, we have one comic that does a school shooter joke.
Oh, fuck.
But it's calling himself a school shooter.
Right, yeah.
So the first time my neighbor came to the show and saw him, she was like, I didn't like that he was doing a school shooter joke. And I was like, all right. And she was like, can you tell him to not do that? And I was like, I can't tell him to do anything. Like, this is his time. It's an open mic. Like, he can say whatever he wants. I mean, we do have some rules at Tiki Bar, which is white guys can't drop the N-bomb. That's the only rule.
That's a fair rule, man. That's a fair rule.
I think they should get rid of it.
Oh, yeah? Oh, shit. Okay. Okay.
Let's get controversial.
Hey, man, I'm not the... Hey.
I'm kidding. I do not condone the N-word. My buddy over here likes it, but not me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's our only rule. We did have another time, that same comic, he's a white guy. The one that does a school shooter joke. We did a show over at Missing Link. And he also does a suicide joke.
Okay.
And this super hammered lady starts yelling out of nowhere. So I'm hosting for my buddy Glenn. It's his show at Missing Link. He does all the shows at Missing Link. And I'm just looking at Glenn, and I was like, you need me to do anything? He's like, nah, let him ride it out. Let's see what happens. And the lady calls him the N-word. Both of the people involved in the situation are both white. And then she says, that's not funny. My uncle shot himself in the head.
Okay.
And this guy just kept pushing through his set. He just kept rolling. The lady, they had to pick her up and carry her to an Uber. And he got off, and he was like, what happened? I was like, you pissed her off, man. He goes, what did I do wrong? And I was like, I would have told her to kill herself, man.
God damn,
he was like, I should have done that.
Well, people have to understand that, I'm sure that 80% of people who say they like comedy have never been to a comedy show.
No. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they have to understand that when you go there and you're in the crowd,
yes,
that the whole temperature is different, the reaction space is different, everything's different than you sitting in your living room, because you're sitting in your living room and there's no one else around.
Yes.
So you can laugh your ass off at jokes that may be potentially controversial.
Yes.
You can get pissed off and talk shit to that person because they're not hearing you. But when you get into a space that's open and you're having to hear these things and process them, it's just interesting how people take that in. And there's always that one drunk ass. Like, there's always that one drunk idiot that's talking shit,
Always.
And there's there's always people that say, well, that hurt my feelings. Well, I mean,
that wasn't my intention.
Right.
That's my whole
you're trying
thing.
To make people to laugh, but there's always going to be someone pissed off.
There was someone that got mad at a certain joke. Oh, it was a abortion joke. Mm-hmm. And this lady got mad in the crowd. Well, she was another comic's cousin. Well, I have a joke about pedophilia. Okay. I was just trying to put it in a softer term, but that's it. But it's all jokes. You can
whisper it or fucking say it loud. It's the same thing.
So the guy pulled her aside, and he was like, why are you losing it? It was a miscarriage joke. That's what it was. And that's a touchy subject.
Yeah.
It was a funny joke, though.
Right.
And obviously, he doesn't wish a miscarriage on anybody. He's just telling jokes. Mm-hmm. And she was like, that's not funny, blah, blah, blah. You can't joke about those things. There are some things that are off limits. And he goes, did you laugh at Chris's joke about molestation? She goes, yeah. He goes, don't you think that should be off limit if miscarriages are? And she just sat there, and she was like, no. Yeah, I guess you're right. And it's like, it's all jokes. We're not out there to just offend people. Like, yeah, we say some offensive things. Like, we got racial jokes, sexist jokes, obviously abortion jokes. Like, there's jokes about everything.
Yeah.
So, and people get so pissed about some stuff. But then it's like, but I just saw you laughing at the white guy making a black joke.
Yeah.
So it's like.
Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be something touchy. There's always going to be those scenarios to where people don't like what they hear. Yeah. But, like, I can't remember what that – there was I heard something not too long ago about comedy. Someone was talking about this, like in ancient civilization or whatever, they would have gestures or whatever, like the community clown or whatever it may be. But when some point in time, whenever you can't make fun of someone and everyone takes themselves too seriously, and that everything is like a touchy subject and nothing. Everything offends you, there's a problem.
Yeah,
right?
it's the problem's not us.
Right.
It's the person. Like, and I get it. I'm totally cool with people being offended. I get it. Things offend me too. I just don't announce it. Like, it's like, I don't really like that joke, but those people did, so I guess it's a good joke.
Yeah.
And which obviously I'm kind of open-minded on jokes. I think if it's a funny joke, I'm just like, it's a good joke. It's a good joke.
That's what you have to be, man.
Yeah.
You have to be. And there's some people that maybe get offended by this thing, and they're completely on the other spectrum. There's someone that you would get offended by something completely different. You never know.
Yeah.
But that's always a risk you're willing to take. That's part of doing it. I mean, it's literally an art form. It really is, and it's an art form that's. I feel like that we're in the era now where it's being reborn.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because there was those handful of great comics, throughout the 80s and 90s, and 2000s that just they were trendsetters, but
yeah.
there's so much, like, they all started doing what you're doing now.
Yeah.
They started that way, and
doing
they had
open
to work,
mics.
they had to work their way all the way up.
There's so many stories that I've heard on other podcasts. I'm like, yeah, we did this barber shop, we did this, and this. And, like, that's one thing I love about it. Like, when we first started, it was probably about a year ago today or something like that. We did a Ghost Fire tattoo.
Okay.
We did a show there.
Y'all did a comedy show and a tattoo shop.
And
nice.
a tattoo shop. And it was sick. We had like 40 people inside it, which it's not much bigger than this room. So, like, it was great, you know? Like, it was like, this is a packed house, even though if that was anywhere else, it'd be like, this sucks. But, like, we did the tattoo shop. We did a rooftop downtown, which was one of the sickest shows we ever did. It was a perfect idea, perfect layout. It was November, and it was 20 degrees outside. It was miserable. All the comics ate shit.
Yeah.
And because we didn't have heaters on us, we put all the heaters on the crowd. Because, like, they paid to be here. Let's do it. And we advertised it like a secret show, you know, blah, blah, blah. Once you get your tickets, we'll give you the address. And they had a good time, I guess. But, like, even our best comic, who to this day, I've never seen him do bad. That night, he came off stage, and I was like, whew. And he goes, that was bad. I was like, that was so bad.
But that's part of it, dude. You have to eat shit, right?
Yeah, yeah. Me and Glenn were talking about this today, and we were talking about the one show. So I usually host shows, which is 5 minutes, maybe 30 seconds in between each comic to a minute, depending on how bad the last guy did. I was sick. I was losing my voice, and none of my jokes were working, and I was doing a 10-minute spot. About 5 minutes in, I was shaking, just nervous, and I went to go grab my water, and I was so shaky, I spilled it all over me, and I was like, it's going to be a great fucking show. And just turned back around and just went back to it. And it's like, I don't mind bombing because it lets me know, oh, that joke doesn't work.
Yeah.
Or if it's a joke that I know works and it doesn't work that time, I just look at the crowd like, you guys are fucking idiots. That's a good joke, you know? But it helps. I think it's really good for character to go up there and eat shit for 5 minutes.
Well, and it depends on your space too, like where you're at.
Yeah.
Right? What type of venue you're at, the crowd, the reactions are going to be different here than they are there.
Yes.
It's
a different type of people. Yeah. When we're going here Saturday, I don't know how it's going to go.
Yeah, it's not your regular. You know.
It's not our crowd. But I know I got 2 guys coming in from Missouri that absolutely annihilated last time they were here. Mm-hmm. So they're going to be all right. As for me, I don't know. I don't know if this is a more high-end bougie crowd. I don't know. I don't know what's about to happen, but I know I'm going to go up there with my same material. And like I said, if they don't like me, be like, fuck it, it works at Tiki Bar, you know? I'm going to do my thing still.
Well, and that's another thing people don't realize is that, like, they just see these specials. They've never been in a show. Like, a 5-minute set's a long time. It's a long time. You can get a lot of, you know, material done in 5 minutes. You know, like you said, you're doing 30 seconds. People probably hear that and be like, what? Well, that you can still get a good bit of material.
That's like 2 or 3 jokes. 30 seconds. If they're
and
quick
5
ones,
minutes is a long time, and people just watch these specials that are an hour and a half long. Yeah. And I think that's what they expect. You know, they have to know that going to any type of comedy show that in a local space with multiple comics is not going to be that. You know. Well,
and it's so strange because like I said, we got a few guys that are tenured. We got Clyde Williams, Wildman Scoob, Glenn Stewart, Tanja D, and Mark Pugh. Now that he's gone though, but he's over in Dallas. But those people can do an hour.
Yeah, is he still coming back over here and performing?
He came back for the roast.
Gotcha.
He comes over more to Tyler than anything, but I know he will come back if there's a paying gig, which I don't expect him to come hit an open mic. Right. Like, absolutely not. It's not worth your time kind of thing. I get it. So don't feel like I'm mad at you for not showing up to the little no money gigs. Like, I'm cool with that. But I was so sad when Mark left, man.
Yeah, I saw. I mean, all those people, I believe, on that show at the Seven Tap, or at least a handful of them.
Yes, yeah. Mark's, I think he's been in every single one of the Seven Tap ones.
Yeah, in there. But yeah, I mean, great material. I thought was great. You know,
what I like about Glenn is he probably has like 4 hours worth of material.
Oh yeah, you can just tell.
He's got so much
shit. On so much shit.
He's such an old comedy road dog. Like, I mean, he moved out to California for a little bit to go chase it down there, and he had some personal things go on, so he came back or whatever. And you can tell. I mean, he's got everything it takes, but he's stuck right now.
Yeah.
So once he's out of these obligations, it's game on for him. Yeah. I mean, it's just to the moon. So
that's what is exciting too. Is like it's just like music now. You can hit just like that.
Yes.
In that space, like
all it takes is one good song, one good viral clip. That's all it takes. That's it.
I mean, that's literally it. Which before, man, you would have to work 20, 30 years, and hopefully that you just got on a good opener.
Yes.
For a headliner.
Yeah, and someone's like, "What's up with that band?" Yeah. The radio guy was there, and he was like, "Yeah." And now it's like, so that's what's so cool about this social media stuff, which it kind of sucks for the guys that are newer in comedy. Because, like, clips get you clicks.
Right.
And that boosts you up. And that's what people see. And they're like, oh, let's book him. But if I film one of my jokes, I can't do that joke anymore.
That's another thing. Yeah.
It's not like a band.
You got to make sure that you
I can't play the hits.
You got to make sure you polish that joke and used it up. And then you put it out.
And I have a few jokes that I'm like, I'm ready to get rid of those. Now I'll film them, probably put them out there. Yeah. Put them on Instagram, whatever. But it's like, once you use them, it's burned material, which is why you see nothing but crowd work material nowadays for comics.
Yeah.
So now when people come to shows, they're like, I get to talk to the guy, and it's like, I wish you wouldn't. Like, I have a plan up here, I got a plan, but like, that's why, like, Matt Rife right now, he's going, Matt Rife is correct? Okay. So he's going huge because of his crowd work stuff. Mm-hmm. He's great at crowd work. I am not good at crowd work. I'll be like, what's up, man? And you'll be like, hey. And I'll be like, all right, cool. And just keep on going.
Well, that's just like we were talking about earlier. It's another style. Like, you have the roasting thing. You have the crowd work thing. You have the, just dick joke thing. You have
like,
you have
there's
the political
so
space, dude.
Yeah.
That's the political thing. Holy shit. Like the comics that just run with that.
Yeah,
and there's a whole,
so great.
The people love that shit. And then there's so many little boxes,
Yeah.
And then those people that can kind of, overlap those and put them all together. So I always think is amazing.
Yeah, we got a great guy from Tyler, Texas, Tyler Elliott, which I want to get him back out here soon. If this show goes well, then we'll be back with him headlining. And his very first joke and his very last joke, an hour long. So you done forgot about this. And his very last one rolls in, and it's the same exact joke, but with a different premise.
It's different.
And it just, you see people's face just like, huh? And it just swings it all back together. And I'm like, see, I don't have that yet.
Is he storytelling the whole time in between? Because that typically changes people's, it changes their attention.
And that's ideal for me to be able to be a storyteller.
Yeah.
But I like hosting too.
Yeah.
I can't be telling stories for 20 minutes if I got to bring up some more comics.
No, because you have to.
You have to I'm going to be the face of the show, but I also need to make it quick, simple, make you laugh. Let's roll.
Yeah, it's like Theo Von. I mean, he's a storyteller, man. He's just a storyteller.
Did you see him when he came here?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Did you love it?
Yeah, it was great. Did you watch first night or the second night? First night was rough, I heard.
I heard first night he lost his shit on the crowd.
Right.
I went the second night. He's done all that on old specials. Now I'm just talking shit about a famous comedian on the podcast.
I mean, hey, dude, it is what it is, But
I was just disappointed because he was my favorite comic. And I was like, oh, I've heard all this 3 years ago.
Really?
And I was just like, damn. But I'm a big comedy dork too.
Yeah, I mean, I always hear regurgitated stuff, but when you put stuff around it, sometimes it's packaged like new. It's almost packaged like new.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I mean, I like him. He's not my favorite. I really don't even know who my favorite is, man. I have I love all of it. Like, I love Dave Chappelle. I went and saw Rogan last time he was in Fort Worth. It was a great show. Him and Brian Simpson and Tony Hinchcliffe.
I was about to ask.
It's a great show.
How good is Tony live?
Tony was fucking phenomenal. Like, I will put him, like, to be honest, I hate saying this, but he killed. He did better than Rogan.
For sure.
Rogan's great. I
don't like Rogan's comedy, but I love
I'm okay with some of it, right?
Yeah.
Some of it's a little loud, whatever. Yeah, that's fine. Like, everyone has their vibe.
Yeah, but he's an old Tony, 80s dude.
Dude, fuck, dude. Yeah,
he's so good. Do you watch his podcast?
Kill Tony? Yeah, dude. It's hilarious.
Kill Tony's the greatest podcast ever.
That shit's great.
Besides this one, my bad.
No, that shit's great, man. There's just so many. There's like so many. Hans Kim, he's always on there. He's great. He was on that show too. Those are all great guys, you know. And now I need to get over there to the mothership, dude. I want to go so bad.
We had one of our comics go, and he signed up for Kill Tony. Didn't get pulled, but he did get pulled for the open mic.
What did he say?
He said it was the sickest club ever. I was like, did you see anybody? He's like, I saw Rogan, I saw Tony, and I was like, did you talk to him? He's like, nah, they were. He was like, it was one of those things where I was like, I don't want to bug him.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, fuck that. I'm a fan. Like, I'm gonna tell you how much I don't want a picture. I just want to be like, what's up, dude?
Yeah.
Huge fan.
Yeah.
Say for wasting your time.
Props,
Goodbye.
yeah.
Yeah. If I don't shit my pants on the way over there, kind of thing.
We're gonna get over there hopefully in the fall, dude. I just want to check the space out. But yeah, I think it's interesting how the greatest thing about you being on here right now is bringing attention. Like anytime I ever do this with anybody, because I always like talking to people I'm interested in.
Yeah.
I don't really want people on. I don't give a shit about what they're doing. And when I talk to you guys, I was like, fuck yeah, let's do this. But I like to bring like awareness to things people don't know about.
Yes.
They may just have one idea about something.
Yeah.
And they just move on about their life. You're like, we watched Blue Collar Comedy Special. That shit was great.
Yeah.
I grew up that people love that shit.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Country
Shit's
White folks.
still great.
They fucking loved that's where Ron White blew up on that shit.
Yeah.
Who's another amazing.
You know how long his set was on that show or on that movie?
You have no idea.
7 minutes. That's the only amount of time he did on that. 7 minutes.
No shit.
It felt like an hour.
It
felt like I fucking love him. He's the greatest. He's one of the greatest comics alive right now. I'm so glad he's back doing comedy.
I want to go see him at the mothership, dude.
He's there like every freaking day, man.
Yeah.
Like if you go, you'll probably be able to see him.
Yeah, but but that blew him up.
Yeah.
It was Foxworthy he was already established.
Yeah.
He was established. He had that old tapes and shit with the 12 days redneck, whatever that shit was, and so we grew up listening to that shit because, I'm a country white kid growing up in damn trailer park. Of course I listened to that shit.
I remember I used to have so many shirts from like Bass Pro with like Jeff Foxworthy sayings on them. My grandma used to buy the shit out of those for us.
And then damn Get Her Done. Was that Billy Engvall? Was that Billy?
No, that was Larry.
Larry
the
and Bill was Here's Your Sign.
Yeah,
they all had their tag on.
Yeah. You might be a redneck.
Yeah. Yeah, so that shit blew. I mean, that's all really I knew as a young kid until I kind of got introduced to like the Comedy Central space and started watching the verse, comedy. And then,
who got you into comedy?
Man, I think I was just watching it.
It was just on.
The family, like we were watching.
You were trying
to
sneak
kids,
some Girls Gone Wild commercials in between.
Yeah, dude, like Skinamax, flipping through, But like, I think we were watching the Blue Collar Comedy Tour, and I thought that shit was hilarious, and everybody loved it. And then I was like, well,
there's got to be
more. There's got
to be others.
There's more, and so
there's not just four. There's not just four guys.
Yeah, and so you have Comedy Central, and you watch these, specials with like. Dave Attell was real big on there back then. He was fucking amazing, and Sarah Silverman, and all those people that were just always on there.
Yeah.
Who is the who was it? Fluffy.
Gabriel Iglesias.
Yeah, amazing. I saw him.
Did you see him sell out Dodger Stadium?
Yes. Did you? You know what's
That's how I felt on our roast.
disheartening?
Like
you know what's disheartening? I saw him here 2 years ago, and he didn't even fill up half of the CenturyLink.
Did you go to Bert's show here?
No, I didn't. I fucking missed it, dude. I fucking missed it.
So after the Theo show, I was like, I'm never going to one of my favorite comics again. Mm-hmm. Like, I was just so disheartened. Like, Theo's great. He's more of a podcast guy to me, which is fine. I'll enjoy his podcast.
Well, he just has great one-liners, man.
Yeah.
He just comes up with shit, and it's hilarious.
He just says shit. Yeah. He says shit like someone that's on mushrooms all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, what was that? So I was like, I asked my wife, I was like, do you want to go see Bert Kreischer? She was like, no.
The machine.
Yeah, and I was like, damn, all right. And she was like, why don't you take my best friend? So I took me and my wife's best friend, basically went on a date. We went and had sushi, drinks. We went to the Bert show. I bought her a shirt. I bought me a shirt. We went and sat and laughed and had a great time all night. And like that, I was like, okay, I'll go see another comic again. But Bert show was just such a party, man. Like everyone, all the fat guys in the room were taking off their shirts, dude. And like they had a tops off cam where like usually like a rock band would have all the titties out. Yeah.
No shit.
And it was just fat guys without their shirts, man. And at one point there was some old dude sitting with like his 16-year-old son. Like I say old dude, he's probably like 50. But like I just looked over at him. I was like, hey, if it comes over here, you're going to take off your shirt? And he was like, and I was like, I'll do it with you, man. He was like, all right, I'll do it. I was like, do you think they'll mind my swastika tattoo? And you should have seen this guy. He was like, and I was like, I'm just kidding, man. I was like, I don't have a swastika tattoo.
Dude, yeah. Man, so I was watching Gabriel Iglesias here, and he had announced, it was definitely 2 years ago.
Yeah.
He had a show booked here. COVID knocked it out, so they rebooked it, and I grabbed tickets. Or I might have already had tickets. Regardless, we went. And I want to say he definitely cut the stadium in half.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure how many that stadium seats, but I want to say probably like 10,000.
Yeah, easy.
Or something like that. They cut it in half. And he announced, he's like, man, I was apprehensive about coming here because I came to Shreveport like 6 or 7 years ago, and I did a show at the Municipal, and they only sold like 80 fucking tickets.
Damn.
And he was selling out places everywhere, and
Really?
he comes here, and that just goes to show you that it's just not appreciated here unless it's a huge headliner. It's always been the same way with huge artists. Yeah. Like you have a huge country artist go to the Century Link, it's going to sell it out, but if you have a local show somewhere where it's like you can't even fill it up halfway, and I don't know if it's a status quo thing or if I don't know just people don't appreciate stuff. You know,
the 6 years ago was before the comedy boom too.
Right, but still he was selling out.
He was still
else.
Gabriel
you would think at
he
least
was fluffy back then.
In a market of 50, how many people are here? 250,000 people in Metro. Like in a market of that, you would think you would be able to sell 1,000 tickets,
especially being who he is.
And I just couldn't believe that. I mean, I could believe that, but at the same time, I was disappointed to hear that.
Yeah,
I was disappointed. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me, man?" Because he is fucking hilarious.
So good.
He's so good, and he's almost family friendly.
He is.
He's like right there.
He
can do a show. He can do a show without cussing.
Yeah.
Or he can do like a little
maybe like 1 or 2
PG-13 set.
Yeah.
But he's not. He's right there. Like so he appeals to more.
Yes.
So it's not like he's had us restricted. Like we're just doing super raw sets. And it's X-rated, and I get it. But so I was just extremely surprised, but at the same time, could believe it.
Yeah, it's like go figure.
Yeah.
And it's so hard getting people to support things because my whole thing this whole time, like when things started to dip a little bit, which now I'm at a place where I'm like, I'm comfortable with the amount of people that are coming. I wish more would come, but. So, like, every Friday, open mic nights, we're getting around 40 to 50 people.
It's not bad, man.
It's not bad.
And how many of those people are, like, recurring clientele?
A lot.
You say, like, half of them?
Probably three-quarters, yeah. And
but they're getting to see new sets.
Yeah. And, like, sometimes, like, the guys will come up, like, we have this one guy, it's his first show with us, coming up on the 18th. And I go, the first week he did, I was like, that was amazing. He's never done good, ever. And I was like, do that again next week. And the next 3 weeks, you're booked on the show. So he was like, all right, I got it. The next week he came back and did completely different stuff, and it did not work. And he goes, that didn't work. And I go, you didn't do what I told you to, man. And he was like, what do you mean? I was like, I told you to do the same thing you're practicing at this point. He's like, I don't want to do the same jokes over and over. And I was like, do you want to do it for the big crowd, the good stuff? He was like, yeah. And I was like, well, you got to practice it.
Yeah.
Like, and that's one thing that sucks. Like, some people are like, I heard this last time. It's like, yeah, but he might have changed one single word. Like, sometimes I'll take a joke that I know works, and I'm like, let's try that again a different way. And I did this probably 3 weeks ago, and I swapped it up. Did not work at all. And I was like, well, now we know. Now we know that that's an okay joke. Chalk it down. It's ready.
Where do you get the inspiration to write your stuff?
So a lot of people like to sit down and write, and I just like to be thinking. I'll just be driving. Like, I drive a truck at work, and I'll think of something. I'll just type it in my phone, and I'll be like, I'll go back to that later. Nothing really. I mean, I got jokes about my kids. Got jokes about sex with my wife. She loves being around when I do those jokes. But, like, it's just kind of things that happen. I mean, there's nothing like... I have no dreams of being a stand-up comic, which is strange to say, but my dream is to do something cool for the city.
Dude, I love that, and I think it's great, but did you come to that determination after you've done a few shows and realized that there's room to grow and somebody just needs to be the person to pioneer it?
Now that you say that, maybe.
That's what it seems like to me, being from outside looking in.
Because I think we have all the talent in the world in the city. Yeah. Just no one has a direction. And I've had multiple of the elder comics come up to me and be like, you've done more for the comedy scene in 1 year than anybody has in the last 15. So it's like, I get that. And like, I like doing stand-up, but I'm also not going to go up if I don't have anything new. Like, I don't have anything new. And they're like, well, you need to go up and do your old stuff. Just get the stage time. And I'm like, I'm comfortable on stage. I don't care. Like, some guys, it takes them. I mean, it took me 20 times on stage to finally be like, I'm wanted here. Like, it's fine. I'm supposed to be here. Because at first it's like, I shouldn't even be here. Especially when we were at the black club. When the white guys would come in, the black audience is like...
They already are going to not think
like,
you're going to be funny.
What's going on
You
right
have to
now?
wow them, yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of the stuff that gets them is it's the shit, the crazy shit. They're like, what did that white boy say?
It's the borderline shit.
Yeah, and they're like, wait, did he just say that? And like, you can get people on stuff like that. But like I said, I mean, right now where I'm at, I'm just trying to build it more and more. And I'll keep doing stand-up. And when I think of a new joke, I don't care if I just got that one new joke. I'm going on stage and doing that one new joke. And then my favorite thing, like kind of like with hosting, another thing I like about it is you can say a joke on stage and then I'll think of something funny to react to that. And I always keep a note card by me. And I just write down what I want to pinpoint. It's like, shit, it's been 3 minutes. I got to focus on something else now. And then if they bring up something else, I'm like, that might be funny. And I'll go up and talk shit about that. And like, so that's cool because I'm always writing new jokes, but it's not like keeper jokes. It's like little quick throwaways type stuff.
Yeah, but it is cool to kind of use the crowd's reaction to funnel into something else
yes.
that was almost a reply to.
Yes, exactly. Like they
said.
really like
you're
that
not
joke.
stealing their material. You're just playing.
I'm basing off that just one word sometimes that it can be.
It is also interesting how comics interact because you all hear each other's sets and you do influence each other.
Yes.
Whether you want to admit it or not, like you constantly doing these shows together, you may hear something that you do that you can roll into yours or play off that, and especially if you know when you're in the within the show, like where you fall behind the next person, whatever.
Yeah, so because like sometimes guys, and another thing that I love doing for people, and like I said, I'm not a great comic. I'm a decent enough comic. I can get some laughs, and people like me. So look, dude, I'm gonna be super humble right now. I'm super likable. So, but like they can say something. I'm like, I'll write down a tag on these note cards, and I'll be like, hey, use this if you want. I don't know. I think it would be funny. Maybe try it next time. And I'll hear them try it, and it doesn't work. And they're like, shit didn't work, dog. And I'm like, well, I don't know. You're better than me. You shouldn't have listened to me kind of thing.
Yeah, shit.
But yeah, I don't think I want to be a stand-up forever. I don't want to be a booker forever. I don't want to put on shows forever. I'm just trying to have a good time, man.
Well, I mean, it's a good reason. It's a good reason to have a good time. You know, what I mean? It's a good thing you're doing. It's something that's good for everyone. And what I've always noticed with being involved in all the shit I'm involved in, just helping people out without expecting anything in return always blossoms into other opportunities.
Yeah, yeah.
And then next thing you know, you're doing shit. I do shit all the time. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing this? But it just happened that way, and I'm enjoying it. You know what I mean?
That's kind of how I feel. Like there's nothing better than after a show and seeing someone in the crowd going up to that last comic and taking a picture with them.
Yeah. Like,
it's such a cool feeling. Like, because some of us, like, we're nobodies. We are nothing.
But everyone was at one point, right? That's what everyone tends to forget. Like, there was you were a nobody at some point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
until you weren't.
It's just crazy to me, like, because sometimes people come up after the show and get a picture with me, and I'm like, for what? Like, I'm like, are you goofing on me right now? Like, what's happening? And they're like, no, that was great. Just let me get a picture. Or they'll add me on Facebook or whatever. I'm like, who is this? I'm like, I think he was at the bar last night. All right, cool, whatever. And I don't know where I was going with that. But, yeah, I just think that's, like, super cool, like, to see these guys get the accolades that at other places they aren't able to kind of thing. So it's like, hey, dude, like, do you see that person? Or like someone will come off stage and I'll be like, dude, great set. I'm like, it was all right. I'm like, did you not listen to what I just listened to out there? Because you absolutely killed. Like, we had one of our guys go to Austin and come back last weekend. And he did the best I've seen him in this past year. And I was like, dude, you've gotten so good. And he was like, it was all right, man.
Well,
like,
how long was he there?
In Austin?
Yeah.
Like 3 months.
So he's there 3 months just chopping it up.
And he's gotten so good. And, like, he's like, it's impossible to get open mic time. We'll get it when we can kind of thing. But he's like, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning before you get on stage. And I got to wake up at 6 to go to work. And he's just out there grinding, man. And it showed 100% when he came back. And he didn't even realize.
Well, you probably have a more tailored crowd there, too, right? You know, like they expect some top tier shit.
Well, when he said,
you better be bringing it.
He goes, even the bad comics are so good.
I bet.
Yeah,
it's just like any. It's like, dude, I was involved in Fulton MMA, and I'm really hooked into that. It's just like, the more you go to fight these, like train with these badasses, the more badass you become. You got to get your ass kicked by the badasses to become better. Like, it's the exact same.
Why did you want to do MMA?
Why did I?
Yeah.
Dude, I just thought it was cool. I fucking
was it?
I loved it, man. I did it.
Dude, it hurts so bad to get hit in the face.
Last fight was 2018, I think.
Why'd you stop?
Dude, I'm just grown, dude. I got shit to do.
Dude, I'm old for this shit.
Yeah, dude, I wanted to have one last fight before I turned 30, and then now it's like, it's just like I have too much shit going on, and the guys I was fighting and training with are doing it for full time.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just like, I'm never
Am I going to go in there and get my ass kicked just to say I did it one more time?
Yeah, I'm never going to progress like they are because they're doing it all day, every day.
Yeah,
and
you got other shit going on.
But it's the same scenario where you go and train with these guys, you become better.
Yeah.
Like you go and perform with those people. You're performing in a crowd who's going to put up with less bullshit. Yeah. But here you may, this is probably a softer start, but it's a good thing. It's either way because like And another thing with the crowd here is they don't know what to expect.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
They're not expecting.
Like I looked around. I went to that 7 Tap show. I was looking around and people were like,
"What the hell's going on?"
Eyes are moving around like. They didn't know it. They should laugh at this joke. And I'm just sitting here laughing my fucking ass off because I've been in enough shows. I'm just laughing. And these people are, they see someone else laughing. So then they feel comfortable about laughing.
It's so weird seeing that.
I know you've seen that shit.
Yeah, I see it all the time, especially in like those like 7th Tap's very lit up.
Yeah.
And it's like, so when we do shows there, like, so 7th Tap has a higher end type of person than our usual spots.
Right.
Because 7th Tap is a higher end place.
I mean, you're paying for a craft beer.
Yeah. And so like, it's more not quality of people, but that's the best way to put it. So like other places, like people come to these shows late at night and they're just out boozing.
Yeah.
And not like, hey, I'm gonna go have a beer and watch a comedy show for free. It's so funny. So like at my job, I service a veterinary clinic, and the owner, he's like a 65-year-old guy, real nice dress, and he came to the first 7th Tap show.
Really?
And I was like, shit, you ready? And he was like, I love this shit, man. He was like, I know you can't tell by the way I look, but I'm ready. And the next week when I saw him, he was like, that was the most fun I've had in so damn long. And like, because one of the guys has a joke about, he's like, what does he say? Oh, I cut myself shaving today. I don't know if you can tell. I now consider myself semi-circumcised. Yeah. And he was like, that circumcision joke. He's like, no one else laughed, but I thought it was the funniest shit I've ever heard in my life. Yeah. And like, I was just like, you're older than my parents. My parents would not find that funny. Like, but he would.
Well, it's culture too. It really is. It's culture because these people that they're closed-minded, they don't really know how to take something, you know. Or something that, my kids were telling me that last night. They're like, you laugh at stuff you shouldn't laugh at. I'm like, hey, you got to be able to find the humor in everything. Yeah. They literally were telling me that driving down the road last night with my wife in the car. She looked at me and started smiling.
Like, yeah, I've told people before, like, dude, life is way too shitty to not laugh at stupid shit. Yeah, man. Like, dude, there's too much seriousness in the world.
We take ourselves too fucking serious.
Yeah, and it's
we really do. Like, who the fuck are we to think that we're important, bro?
Yeah.
We're literally infinite spectrum of fucking.
I mean, I'm
galaxy.
Important, but
whatever, whatever, man. But no, dude, I think it's awesome. When's the show?
This Saturday, August 12th. We'll have it out. You have it out by then, maybe, theoretically.
Yeah, we got to. We
can push whatever. I'm just happy to be here, man.
Yeah, so August 12th. You guys selling tickets to that?
Yeah, there's a link on the Don't Take This Serious Facebook page. It's on Instagram too. I don't run any of the Instagram shit. I don't even know the password. My buddy handles that. Shout out Joel Primrose. And yeah, we got tickets on the link in there. Tickets are only $10. If you come to the door and get tickets, $15. Hopefully it sells out. We're slowly scooching up. So
have y'all been on like pre-sales? Because that's another thing about this area. Like this is a last minute spot,
Joel
bro.
Was telling me that. I was like, man, it hadn't always been like that.
With any event, like I'm always doing all kind of events, and dude, it's always you get nervous as fuck to that last week, and then you're like, here they come,
dude. The first 2 days we sold like 3 tickets, and I was like, it's a bust. Our sponsors are never going to sponsor us again. And now it's slowly been getting up there. Like right now, you know, I think if we get like 7/8, 3/4 of the way full, I'll be happy with it. Yeah. You know, like we had to take 10 seats away for like people that we're letting in for free kind of thing, like wives and stuff like that. But I mean, honestly, I don't care about the money aspect at all, as long as that people go, that was a fun time.
Yeah, you're in the growth stage, man. It's like this is something where you just want to fill up the house every time you do it, and then eventually it becomes lucrative. If you're doing it just to make money, you would be like anyone else who's ever done anything in this area who never lasts because they jump in it just to make money. Yeah, they make their little bit and they leave, and then they do nothing for the community. You know what I mean? Like, and before I mean community, I mean the comedy community.
Yeah, yeah. And see, that's like I said earlier. No goals of being a famous stand-up comedian, whatever. Yeah. I just want to have something cool in the city for people to do. Yeah. And like, if I can bring a little bit of joy and happiness to 40 people a week, that's cool. If I can get it up to 100 a week, that's even better. And eventually, if I can start bringing in these big comics and being like, hey, Strand, I need to book y'all out this day. I got this guy coming. You know, that's the end goal is let's get some of these guys that people know about. Let's get these Netflix guys. And like I said earlier, I've started reaching out to people. I'll go see these big name acts, and I'll write down their openers' names, and I'll hit them up. And I've had multiple been like, dude, way within our budget. They're charging nothing, and it's like, you can do an hour, right? And they're like, yeah, I can do an hour easy. Like, I'm just doing 15 for these people. Yeah. And so it's like, okay, obviously you're a top-tier comic, or Bert Kreischer wouldn't have you on his tour.
Right.
Mark Norman wouldn't have you. Theo wouldn't have you. It's like, obviously you're worth a damn, so let's make it work. So just the next few stages of it is doing that, and then eventually they go tell people, hey, you might want to hit this guy up in Shreveport. He pays good and decent crowds. They like coming out. They like comedy. So I don't know. I'm trying to be the next spot for these local guys.
Are you stuck like here? Do you want to grow? Like you want to grow out? You doing things with people outside of here?
The farthest we've kind of worked out is Tyler, Texas. Eventually, I do want to start.
Where are they performing at over there?
There's a place called Rose City Comedy.
Yeah, okay.
Every Monday.
That's right. They do have a spot.
Every Monday.
That's the only spot they're doing shows.
The only spot.
Unless you have a headliner, like a big show come in. They have that theater there.
I don't even think they do that over there. I can imagine people are going to Tyler.
Oh, dude, there's a lot of people in Tyler.
Is there?
Fuck yeah. They're Metro. They just as many. They have about 150, 170,000 people there.
They got a sick zoo, too.
And they have their demo. They have a lot more money.
Nice.
Yeah.
But I feel like people with money don't want to laugh.
What?
Like, they're just like, I'm good, dude. I don't need any more happiness.
Yeah, I have never watched a comedy show in Tyler, but I've been there for plenty of music shows. But yeah, I did. I forgot they had that little spot there. How big is that? Do they have like?
It's only like a 50 seater.
Is it 50? Okay.
Yeah, but they sell out every Monday. So. They charge to get into the open mic.
Okay.
And it sells out every time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, shit, maybe we can do it. And I'm like, let's not worry about the money. I don't want it to ever dwindle because I get greedy. Like Tiki's gonna pay me. They're gonna take care of me each Friday. Well, once it starts getting bigger, that's when I go to them and be like, yo, can I get some more? And then we'll worry about that shit later,
Well, it's good, man. It's good that you're growing right. You're growing smart, growing slow. Got these guys in here, constantly bringing new people in.
Yeah.
And the open mic thing, letting people have an opportunity to step up there,
Well, it's so funny because sometimes I'll get some of the comics be like, don't let that person up. And I'm like, it's an open mic, man. I got to. And he's like, but they suck. And I'm like, they're never going to get better if they don't get up.
You sucked one day, motherfucker.
I've never sucked. But,
Glenn has.
Yeah, shit. It's so funny. I've seen Glenn do bad once. And we were down at the station. And the music wouldn't play. And then we got it working.
I was making a gay joke reference to him. It took you a minute. How did you miss that?
Shout out Gay Glenn. He's going to be upset I said that. But he did so bad one night, and so I got the music working. So to fuck with him, I was like, I'm gonna play his intro music now. He was about to hit a punchline.
Oh fuck!
And he just looked at me with the death stare, and I'm like, I'm just having a good time. I was like, that was for me. 3 times during his set, a train rolled by.
Fuck, man. Damn, dude.
He was like, "This was the worst fucking set of my life." And he's like, "Joel's never gonna have me back." And I was like, "Don't worry about that shit, bro. We're not gonna base it off on one performance."
Yeah.
So good though.
Well, man, I'm excited for you, bro. Before we wrap this thing up, any final thoughts, last things, anything you want to plug?
I do want to shout out Revit Covers and Collision. It's not coverage. Fuck, what is it? Revit Collision and Repair, whatever it is. That's our boy. He did sponsor the show to help us cover the costs of some of the comedians' money and the insurance and stuff on the show. So that was super helpful. So that helps me pay these guys a little bit more. So that's cool. Shout out Get Lit Lighting. He made me a dope little sign or some letters or something lit up on stage, so we can throw that on there. And shout out Joel Primrose with all his hard work. He's the reason, him and Nick are one of the reasons we're able to do this shit. And they got me, off my ass and actually putting in work. So, because I'm a lazy motherfucker. I'd rather sit around and drink beer. And they're like, nah, you got to do some shit. Joel texts me. He's like, hey, I know you're off work. Don't go drink. And I was like, fuck, all right. I was like, I'm going to have one beer. And Nick was like, yeah, you're going to have one. I was like, well, after we'll have another. And he's like, yeah, all right, cool.
Well, good, man. Let's wrap it up, dude.
Cool, man. I appreciate it. You want to sing a song?
What are we singing?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know how you end this.
Dude, I don't sing.
What?
We're gonna end it just like this.
No, we're going to sing, bro.
You can. Go ahead.
No, it's all us, man. What's a good one to do at?
Man, I don't know one.
You got a good duet?
Dude, hold on.
Fuck yeah.
Hold on, let me think for a second.
Dude, we're about to sing, bro.
Let's do it. I'll hum.
What comes to mind is
You like Childers?
No.
You don't like Tyler Childers?
I'm thinking about
No.
Jennings and Johnny Cash.
Are you judging me right now?
I'm a little upset.
Dude, I listen to fucking like Southern Soul.
Like who?
Like black groove music.
Sing it? I don't know.
Dude.
Like Willie and Waylon, Mama's Don't Let Your Babies Go Up, Big Cowboys.
You get it going, bro.
Let's go.
I don't know the lyrics. I'm going to have to follow off you.
Cowboys ain't easy, no nothing harder. Oh, yeah.
There you go. Why don't you get up
he's
here
doing
and
great.
sing?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I was just kidding, but you did good.
I'll go I'll just go monotone.
I love how you're going to cut all this
There you
in
go.
part out.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna leave it all on here. I'm gonna leave it all on here.
All right, next time, if there is a next time, I'm going to bring a dope song. You don't like Childers? You don't like country?
Dude, I'm okay with Childers. I'm talking shit.
Oh.
I'm not a big Texas country guy. I love Charlie Crockett. Love Charlie Crockett. You don't even know who that is, do you?
Yeah, dude.
No
Yeah.
clue. I like him. Different. He's an Austin guy.
I'm not big into country. I'm a big rap guy.
Oh yeah,
A little bit of metal.
Let's get some rap going then.
Oh,
What's up?
shit.
Some
Cash Money taking them for the 99s and the 2000s.
Some little Boosie or something we got.
Yeah,
Let
dude.
me get me. or something.
Will you get a beat going for us? We'll do some Boosie.
God, what's the one?
I'm just stretching this out.
Yeah, he's trying to hit that hour mark, bro. Hey, look,
Loving Me by Nelly. Do that one.
dude. I don't even know that song.
Who?
Nelly.
I
Who's
know
that?
country grammar.
Nelly is?
What is
No,
that? Country
who's
grammar?
Nelly?
Boy, why you playing?
It's
Why
my
don't you-
favorite
why don't
thing
you-
to
why don't
convince
you give me-
people I don't
Why
know.
don't you give me a joke real quick to end this thing on? How about that?
Shit, what kind of joke?
I don't care. You're the comic, bro.
Oh, that's so
We'll end it
weird.
on that.
Let me look at my notes. I got some newer shit. Oh, dude, I'm gonna tell this one.
Give
on
it to
Saturday.
me.
So my wife likes. She doesn't like to, but she house sits for people. I don't know if you've ever house sat for anybody, but usually those people are super sexy milfs because they're the ones with the rich husbands. And one of my favorite things to do is go through their medicine cabinet, just see what's going on. Like, I won't steal like 2 Lortabs, but I'll take one. Free drugs. I'm all in on the free drugs. But the other day I was going through this lady's cabinet, and I'm telling you, smoke show, just super fine lady. And I'm looking at this medicine. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that is. So I look it up on Pill Identifier, and it was herpes medication. And I immediately put all those panties I had stolen right back. That's what I got.
There you go.
That's what I got.
we'll
That's a
wrap it
herpes
on
panty
that.
stealing joke.
We'll wrap it on that.